do not wake a sleeping giant. For decades, that was the unspoken rule of global power. You do not provoke a nation with deeper pockets, larger factories, and an economy built not just for survival, but for scale. And in the 1930s, there was one truth that military planners across the world quietly understood. The United States could outproduce anyone. More steel, more oil, more ships, more planes. But Japan believed something else. They believed wars were not won by factories, but by spirit, by speed, by precision, by striking first, and striking hard enough that the enemy never recovers. They had studied Western powers, they had watched Europe burn in the early years of World War II, and they came to one conclusion: America was soft, slow, unprepared, a nation too divided, too distant, too complacent to respond in time. So they built a strategy around one decisive blow, a single moment that would cripple the U.S. Navy, and force America to negotiate before its industry could even awaken. But there was one man who knew better, one man who had studied America, lived there, understood it, and feared it. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. He warned them. He told them exactly what would happen. He said, "I can run wild for 6 months, but after that I have no expectation of success." They didn't listen, because in December 1941, Japan believed it could break the rule. But in 1942, one moment would prove they were catastrophically wrong. Yamamoto is not like the others. He is not blinded by nationalism. He is not intoxicated by victory. He is 57 years old, a seasoned naval officer, a gambler by reputation, but a realist at heart. He studied at Harvard, served as a naval attaché in Washington, traveled across America. He has seen Detroit. He has seen the factories. He understands something his colleagues do not. America is not just a country. It is an industrial machine, and once it starts moving, it does not stop. But by 1941, Japan feels cornered. The United States has cut off oil exports. Their empire is expanding across Asia. Resources are running thin. War feels inevitable. So Yamamoto designs a plan, not because he believes in victory, but because he believes it is Japan's only chance. Strike Pearl Harbor. Destroy the Pacific Fleet. Buy time, 6 months, maybe a year, enough time to fortify their empire and force a negotiated peace. And on December 7, 1941, it works. Battleships burn. Over 2,400 Americans are killed. The Pacific Fleet is crippled. Japan celebrates. Victory feels absolute. But Yamamoto doesn't celebrate, because he knows something no one else is willing to admit. They have not destroyed America. They have awakened it. And somewhere, deep in the United States, something begins to move. Factories retool, assembly lines expand, workers flood into shipyards, and slowly, quietly, the machine begins to turn. At first, nothing seems different. In early 1942, Japan still dominates the Pacific. They capture territory at a staggering pace. Hong Kong, the Philippines, Singapore, the Dutch East Indies. Each victory reinforces the belief. America is too slow, too far away, too weak to respond in time. But then the numbers start coming in. Shipyards in America are producing vessels at a rate no one thought possible. One Liberty ship in 230 days, then 100 days, then 50 days, eventually 5 days. Think about that. A fully functional cargo ship built in less than a week. Aircraft factories begin producing planes in the thousands. 1941, the U.S. produces roughly 19,000 aircraft. By 1943, over 85,000. Japan cannot match that, not even close. But at sea, Yamamoto still believes he can win one decisive battle. Midway, June 1942, a trap. He plans to lure the remaining U.S. carriers into a decisive engagement, destroy them, and secure Japan's dominance. But something has changed. American codebreakers have cracked Japanese communications. They know the plan. They know the location. They are waiting. And on June 4th, 1942, the battle begins. Japanese aircraft roar toward Midway Island. Bombs fall. Explosions rip across the airfield. But the real battle is happening beyond the horizon. U.S. carriers, Enterprise, Hornet, Yorktown, launch their planes wave after wave. But the attacks are chaotic, disorganized. Torpedo squadrons go in low. No fighter cover. They are slaughtered. Planes drop into the ocean. Pilots vanish into smoke and fire. It looks like failure. Complete failure. Yamamoto's trap is working. American forces are being destroyed piece by piece. And then, at 10:20 a.m., everything changes. Dive bombers appear overhead. 3 squadrons undetected. Japanese carriers are vulnerable. Flight decks crowded with fueled aircraft. Bombs scattered. hoses stretched across the deck. A nightmare scenario. The Americans begin their dive. 20,000 feet, 15,000, 10,000. No turning back now. Bomb bay doors open. They release. In seconds, Akagi is hit, Kaga is hit, Soryu is hit. Explosions tear through the carriers. Fire spreads instantly. Fuel ignites. Planes explode where they sit. Sailors scramble, but it's too late. Within minutes, 3 of Japan's most powerful carriers are burning wrecks. The 4th, Hiryu, launches a counterattack. They strike Yorktown. She burns. But American forces regroup. Another strike, another hit. Hiryu is destroyed. 4 carriers gone in a single day. Japan didn't just lose ships. They lost irreplaceable pilots, experienced crews, years of training. And America? America replaces its losses. Quickly, efficiently, relentlessly. Because while Japan is counting what it lost, America is already building what comes next. Ship after ship, plane after plane, an endless tide. And for the first time, Japan begins to understand. This is not a war they can win. Midway is not just a battle. It is a revelation. For Japan, it is the moment everything becomes clear. Their strategy, win fast, force peace, has failed. Because America is not negotiating. It is mobilizing. What they didn't fully grasp, until now, is that the United States doesn't need a single decisive victory. It just needs time. By 1943, American shipyards are launching entire fleets. Essex-class carriers, dozens of them, destroyers, submarines, thousands of aircraft. Japan cannot replace what it loses. Every pilot shot down is gone forever. Every carrier sunk is a permanent wound. And slowly, the balance shifts. Island by island, battle by battle, the United States pushes forward, not with desperation, but with inevitability. Yamamoto himself is killed in 1943. His plane shot down after American intelligence tracks his movements. Even in death, his warning echoes. He knew this would happen. He just couldn't stop it. Think about the men on those decks at Midway. Young pilots, some barely in their 20s, flying outdated planes against overwhelming odds. Men like Lieutenant Commander Wade McCluskey, who made the critical decision that led dive bombers directly to the Japanese fleet. Men who didn't know they were about to change the course of history. And on the other side, Japanese sailors, equally brave, equally committed, trapped in burning ships, victims of a moment that shifted an entire war. Admiral Yamamoto, a man who understood the truth from the very beginning, a man who warned his country and was proven right. To this day, Midway is studied as one of the most decisive naval battles ever fought, not just because of tactics, but because of what it revealed. Wars are not just won by courage, or strategy, or even victory. They are won by the ability to endure and to produce and to keep going when the other side cannot. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Thank you for ensuring that Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto and the thousands of men who fought at Midway do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.